Well, call me not surprised. She explained it very well. To my surprise, and again, I don't agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene on a lot of things, but what I do like about her fight, though, is she's actually fighting on things that might possibly change the structure of this government in a way that actually be positive for everybody. And it's shocking for me to even come to this agreement or realization because I remember just despising this woman. I couldn't stand her. The way she talked about government workers, the way she used racist language, anti Semitic language on a regular basis, her hard on immigration stance, and all these hateful things, her defending Trump. And again, I still remember all this. Okay, so I still know she what she believes as far as being a right winger or MAGA. But what I do like is the new form clarity of moral clarity she's using now, in the sense that she's speaking out against the overall structure and corruption of this government. Because we do need voices from all sides. And I know a lot of people have a hard time accepting that. And again, it doesn't mean we have to agree with them. I'm not sitting here saying you have to suddenly look at Marjorie Taylor Greene as a champion for human rights, because we already knew where she stood before. So, I mean, I'm not sitting here telling you, oh, yeah, she's better than anyone you ever seen on the left. No. I'm still principally on the left. But I do agree with her on the stuff she's saying here. Because agree with her or not on her ideology, what she's saying is making sense. And we all know Congress is not working for the average American people anymore. They're not working for their constituents. They're not working to serve us as the people. We all know this. We all know our government's complicated, bureaucratic, and corrupt. It doesn't take a voice we only agree with to see that. And that's the thing. I mean, sometimes it will take people you don't necessarily agree with that bring that truth to your face. Because the thing is, people that are actually principled, okay, people that actually view government not working for the people, regardless of what they truly believe. Like, I'm talking the principled conservatives, the principled progressives, okay, the people that see the swamp within the system and are willing to speak the hard truths that nobody else will. Okay? These are conversations that need to be had. And that is truly how we're going to build a solidarity people's movement in this country. Again, we're not going to agree with everybody on everything. But I'm pretty sure the one thing we're going to get a unity on in this country is how corrupt and swampy our government is, and how unrepresentative these people in Congress are of their constituents. All right. And don't let them convince you for a minute, oh, I did everything I could and I couldn't stop it, or oh, I did everything I could and I couldn't pass it. No. They are okay with the status quo, a lot of them, which has not been serving any of us. The reality is, Marjorie Taylor Greene is correct. They need to vote against the rule that allows this to begin with. All right. That is correct. And that is something I want to hear more people on the left say. Because we need to have this conversation. It's a conversation that needs to be had about our government. Okay? And I've never heard anyone on the left even say this. And I'm kind of like, why? Why is this a kept secret? And I think we need to broaden our conversation. I really do. And I'm guilty of being accused of not being a real Democrat, a real leftist, a real progressive, or a Democrat indeed. Let people think what they want. I don't care. Because the reality is, I am principally on the left. But I also call out bull crap on both sides of the aisle. Okay? And I want to see more people do that. Conservative or progressive, I don't care. If they're speaking the truth to power, we gotta listen. We learn something from it. Sometimes you learn from people you don't agree with. If they're fighting, and sometimes you'll find yourself fighting alongside with them for the same cause, but you have a different way of how you view the government. And it's okay. We don't have to agree with everybody. But again, sometimes people we don't agree with are right about things. You know? But this is not to excuse this past person's behavior, but she's correct. She's very insightful. The 5 years she served in Congress, she learned a lot, and it is true. It is true our Congress operates the way it does. And I just wish more people on the left spoke of these things too. And again, I'm not saying the left is starting to get better about this stuff. It's taking time. I mean, they are speaking a lot about getting rid of military spending, stop giving our money to genocidal wars and all that. They're finally talking about, affordability and the economy. That populist message, that populist anger that people are truly feeling, But I also think we need to start discussing about how Congress operates, how we need to get rid of bureaucracy within the government, how we need to actually make it transparent to how our tax dollars are spent. Like, we should talk about auditing the Fed and the Pentagon. I think that's common sense. Well, people with principles believe those things. If we focus on what's structurally wrong with our government to begin with, we could probably get better things done in this government. Sometimes it's beyond the party in charge. I think we focus so much on partisan politics, and then we fail to realize there's more to the argument than just partisan politics. Okay? It's the structure of our government. All right? And they got these stupid rules in the House and the Senate that make it impossible to pass good things. They make it impossible to block bad legislation. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like it's a two-sided argument here. But she's correct when she pointed out the fact that the 6 Republicans only voted against that NDA because 6 Democrats voted for it. Therefore, the 6 Democrats that voted with Republicans to pass the NDA canceled out the 6 Republicans that voted against it. What a novel concept. Because they knew it was going to pass anyway. Because that's the after effect vote. And a lot of people in Congress, you'll see a lot of your Congress members do stuff like this. They will come out and they will vote for something or against something to say they did something for you. Okay, to make themselves look good so they get media attention. But they really didn't, and they did not challenge their leadership. That was a coward vote. That's a vote to say, oh yeah, symbolically I voted against this NDA because I care about American first priorities. Even though a majority of their party voted for it. And they only decided to vote against it because they couldn't challenge. And the second vote because they knew they weren't going to challenge leadership by doing that. And therefore, 6 Democrats were going to cover their butt anyway and vote for it. So, here we are. I'm just thankful it didn't pass through the Senate, but they're probably going to push it again. And AIPAC's going to come out and start lobbying these Congress people real hard. You see it coming. Yeah. It's just the reality we're dealing with now. This is the story of our government right now. Yeah. Anyways, y'all, have a great night. Love y'all. Goodbye.